All right. What is up, party people? We are live again on Let's Get Lit. Got Oscar Gonzalez back in since our last conversation got cut a little bit short. Didn't get to extract as much out as I wanted to of this millionaire mind set of his. So, Oscar Gonzalez, ladies and gentlemen, will play this intro and we'll get to work. All right. What is up, man? How are you?
I'm doing great, man. I'm doing fantastic. Pleasure to be here. How are you?
I'm doing well, as normal. Dealing with some huskies that are in heat. Dude, my dogs. It's funny, man. Huskies, I think huskies are the most neediest breed of dogs out there, but they're the closest to wolves, I think. So I grew up with a full-blooded wolf in our house. His name was Adonis, and beautiful dog, but it's like, dude, when this thing stood up, it could touch like the soffit on the side of the house, probably like 9.5 foot if he stood up on his back legs.
Yeah.
I mean,
Beast.
if a cat gets in the enclosure, ripped to shred, like small animals.
Wow.
It's a bloodbath, man. But like huskies, when I have his name is Montana, and my girl's name is Diamond. I saved her from a puppy mill. Like when I first got her, I could wrap my fingers around her waist. She was that thin because she was just being bred for money, kept in a cage all day. I fucking hate that. So I bought her, paid a nice pretty penny to get her out of that situation. But they've got that taste of blood because I feed them raw liver and shit when I eat it. They absolutely love it. So like one of the neighbor's cats got in the backyard somehow. I don't know how. Like cats are weird. I think cats are dumb though most of the time. Like they don't care about anything. They don't care. They serve no purpose. But dude, my huskies, they have this white fur all over them and it's just covered in blood. So I got to take them to the.
Oh man.
I messed up feeding them all that raw shit because now they have like dude, when they smell blood, like the hair on their back stands up. It's
really
from a nature standpoint because it's just like they're fucking killers.
raw. Yeah. It's
I
raw.
love it, but dude, they keep getting stuck.
When they kill your neighbor's cat, it's not so good.
I don't know whose cat it was. I'm just assuming it was one of the neighbors, but it's like, dude, we have a stray cat problem here. It's fucking annoying because they're like, I call this one cat Rick James because he don't take no shit, dude. He's like got like half an ear missing. He's got scars all over. I'll throw him like chicken legs or something. It's like, what's up, Rick? He don't fuck around, dude. He's got like 30 girlfriends. He's like the neighborhood hoe. So, but dude, my dogs keep getting stuck, man. So if you hear yelping, they're like facing the other way. He's just stuck in her from where he's.
Man,
like, let's get it on.
Oh man, I remember. We have 4 dogs, right? But they're Chihuahua mixes. They're all rescues. They're all under 15 pounds, and the one, we have 2 girls and two males, right? And the females, one of them, when I first got her before she got fixed, I had never experienced like gone through like a female dog going in heat and then being around a male dog. I had never witnessed.
They're
sluts. Unbelievable how and then they get stuck. And bro, let me tell you, man,
opposite. We got the South Pole.
Unbelievable. One of the funnier nights ever, man. Like it's 2 a.m. My wife and I are sleeping, and we wake up to this dog like yelling and screaming. And I'm like, what is going on? And I wake up and they're stuck. And then finally they get separated. But now like his penis,
his rocket's just stuck.
It's stuck and it's got like the skin and all this. And this poor guy is like, there's a moment, and my wife got it on camera, where I'm trying to like maneuver this guy's penis around to like loosen it up, right? And I'm looking at the dog, and the dog's looking at me, and in that moment, like, it was like a clear message of him saying to me, like, please help me. Like, he didn't have to say anything, man. He just has this look on his face. and my wife captured it, man. It was like one of the most unbelievable things
It's like
ever, man.
I already understand, man. But you're just looking at him. He just acknowledges. He's like, Dad, help.
Help me, please. I don't know what I did,
Oh
but
my
help me.
God.
Yeah,
Dude,
man.
I love dogs, man. I can't stand seeing them. But let's get into some insurance shit,
Let's
man.
do it.
So, you guys be sure to drop a comment if you guys know what we're talking about. So, Oscar Gonzalez, ladies and gentlemen. So, let's talk more about your Scale My Social. So, you've moved on to a couple different advertising platforms and marketing platforms. So, you've now brought on over 40 clients, which is phenomenal. I still think you're a third or a fourth of what you need to be priced at, as I've said.
Right.
So, me and my partner just came on board. We'll be getting that stuff set up for our agency because, as I mentioned to you, I am now bringing on agents.
Right.
So, I'm only hiring 10. We've got 7 slots already filled up of people. So, we'll be generating leads for them.
Exciting.
It's going to be cool, dude. That's a big recruiting point. If you can provide leads for your agents and still give them 100% comp and all they do is sell.
I think that's a huge value right now, and you see it, right? Because and you're in a lot of groups, and everyone, right? If anybody's on Facebook and is insurance, you're in all these groups that are out there, and I think it's the common issue that people post is leads. I spent this, I wasted that, I'm dialing age leads. The other day I was hearing something crazy that some of these agents that are being recruited onto other places, and they have them buying 90 120 day old age data, sometimes 6 month old data. And it's like, man, you can't, first of all, you can't be calling stuff after 90 days, right? If you generate a lead online, you have 90 days consent. After that 90 days, you need to get a new consent to continue hammering that person. And so there's just so much going on out there, and I think leads is leads and obviously training. But once you're an agency that can generate leads right at scale, understand the cost of a lead, what it actually entails to bring a person on, a prospect, to fill out a lead form, to book a call, things just change. And we talked about that the other day, right, on that call, that it's not just about generating that lead. It's you now have this data, right? And they're consenting to. And so you're able to retarget, you're able to do so many things from that point on to really scale, and then make the leads and the data that you already have nurture into a higher intent lead and eventually a sale.
Dude, that helped me out so much when I first started advertising because, like, at first my ads were converting, but once I had 100 people buy my course and into the coaching program, I was like, someone told me a lookalike audience. And I was like, YouTube, how to do this. YouTube teaches you guys fucking everything. Most people just can't implement. So set up my lookalike audience, and dude, CPL, like cost per lead, went down. My ROAS fucking like tripled. And I was like, I'm on to something here.
Yeah.
And it's like people, oh my God, people just burn their money. But it's like, as an agency owner, I think you have a responsibility if you actually want to grow a fucking business.
Right.
I own an insurance. No, you don't. Shut up.
Right.
You own a job. No one's going to buy your agency of 400,000 agents that do $20,000 of issued paid production, where you have to hire 50 new agents a day. So
Exactly.
Shut that shit up right now. I don't care what your upline tells you, they're lying. But it's like, if you want to actually run a business, Walmart knows how to generate leads. Like, any big business is on top of their own lead generation, because now we're seeing interest rates at 9%. If you're buying mortgage protection leads, guess what? Those are going bye-bye right now.
Yeah, that's a tough one, right? So that whole, and again, so now you're in a place where, if you've been, that's a perfect example, right? So now here's an agent.
Well, that's just what I come from. So
right. And it's like, man, okay, so now 100% based on mortgage protection, and that same agent 100% counting on a lead vendor to generate that lead for them, right? They've been producing, they've been making money, things have been great. All of a sudden, rates go the opposite way. Nobody's is refinancing a home. No one's cashing out a home, none of that stuff. And so what do you do now? right? All you can do is either pay more for those leads and hope that you can still close the same percentage, and have no idea where the audience is. Where can you now market, right? Because there's other sources that somebody that does mortgage protection now needs to focus on, because that honeypot ran dry, right? And
Yep, what you do is you take $1,200 out of your hard-earned commissions. You go talk to the dude who plays illegal poker with your judge in your county. He's a financial guy. He's pretty smart. You pay him that $1,200 and you file a Chapter 13 bankruptcy
right.
because you're out of business, bitch. Dude, it blows my fucking mind how much people do not want to take accountability and ownership over their business. They're like, well, I'm doing 40,000 issued paid production a month, but you're dependent on someone else's shit.
Correct. Yeah. Well, and that's where I think you find, when we talk about it, I talk about it to people all the time, right? The idea that the combination of like whatever leads, go buy, spend on just leads, and then turn around and go recruit without any foundation, without any proper structure in place to bring an agent on, train them, support them, make them successful, and have like proper leads to that person. And so, man, the opportunity is so big, because when you push all this shit away, right? When you look at the insurance industry right now, just like 98% of the agents fall out, or whatever that number is, 98% of these agencies are at the same place, right? You have 1 million agents under you, and 2 of them are actually producing, right? So like, what are we doing? We're just throwing shit at the wall and hoping that it sticks, rinse and repeat, right? Like, that's really the model. And so the opportunity is so big for somebody to come in and structure it properly, have a foundational business, right, that has marketing control, has a sales process, and can unite those two things and bring new recruits through that process. Man, the opportunity is endless for those that are doing that.
And the people that get on it now are going to be great. Like the people, dude, it's so uncomfortable for like most of my clients when they come through the course. They're like, this networking shit, it's not working. I was like, you're not doing it enough. Mason, this isn't working. Here's 2 weeks, a month later, it's still not working. It's like after 9 weeks of bitching, it's like 90 days later, it's like, hang on, I just got 6 calls booked this week, all organic. It's like, what do those cost you?
Right.
A conversation 3 months ago with a mortgage lender who has a huge audience and pocket of your people.
Right.
But it's like so many people get stuck in the indoctrination of their fucking upline and IMO, or they get confirmation bias.
Mm-hmm.
It's absolutely clown world out here. I see these girls put on these V-necks and they recruit 10,000 agents off their Instagram. And it's like, they don't really want to sell or anything. They just want to see your tits.
That's yeah.
Like you're talking to a group of people who, when they go to the bathroom in the morning, it splits off in 7 streams. They're only thinking with that head, and they're trying to knock the debris off the toilet bowl. They don't give a fuck about protecting families, more than likely. Dudes do weird shit.
Yeah.
I'm not counting myself out of it. I knock the shit off too. But it's like, they get that confirmation bias and that validation and ego, but it's like, I don't blame them, because if I just had girls reaching out to me saying, oh, I'll come work for your insurance agency and I'll pay all of your bills and I'll fly you out to Dubai to get on my yacht, and I know you're only 18, but it's like, can you come do this on my chest? I'll give you 20,000. I'd have a massive fucking ego. But think about it, like these girls, like they had to do nothing but upload a picture, and it's like 10,000 agents. Do you know how long it took Brad Lee to get that size of an audience to have that same ripple effect?
Right. Yeah.
But it's like girls have an unfair superpower in this industry. It's their beauty. And it's like, I teach all of my girls, use that shit.
Use it. Yeah. Yeah,
just
for sure.
Feminize it. Don't become masculine, please. Your husbands will hate me. Serious.
Yeah, no, I think the opportunity is certainly massive. I think that agents that are out there, you got to cut through all the fluff, right? You got to focus on, and you talk about this, but you got to focus on just, in front of you, the things that you can control, and don't listen to everything that's out there, right? Because you'll spend all your money, all your time going from one thing to the other. The other day I was listening to somebody on I'm a big CNBC guy. I'm always listening to CNBC while I'm working and doing stuff, right? And so Ray Dalio was on last week.
I like him.
Yeah, it's smart, super smart guy, right? And he made a comment, man, and it has stuck with me. I think it was actually 2 weeks ago, but it has stuck with me. And I challenge this. I have a hard time following up with this, but he said, you know, you can have anything you want, but you can't have everything, right? And so, meaning that there's so much noise out there, and go do this and go do that and follow this person, and sell Medicare, no, sell life, no, sell health, no, sell residual, no, sell. And it's like, man, you have to be able to know that whatever you want to do, you can do, but you can't do it all. So you have to hyper focus on one thing, become a master at that one thing, and then you can start doing other things, right? And so for me, when I came into the insurance business, number one above all, because I already had a sales skill and knowledge of that, I knew the product knowledge would just come as I worked in. My missing piece was marketing, right? I know that I need to become a master at insurance marketing. I need to understand how to generate leads so that looking ahead, not when I first started, but 2 years, 3 years from now, I'm implemented and I have a foundation where it doesn't matter who's in business, who's not in business, where people are going to spend their time. I'm going to be able to capture that person, market to that person, and generate leads for my business. It doesn't matter what's happening with the economy. None of that shit matters. But we often, people, especially new people coming into any business, right, and working for themselves, you become so overwhelmed at listening to a million people that you end up doing nothing, right? And I think that contributes to all the amount of people that fall out of the insurance industry, goes into that, right?
We have the highest attrition rate. Like, I understand we are in the hardest fucking industry to become successful in. This industry will slap you with its dick. I'm serious. It will make you go through a path of enlightenment. It will make you face your deepest and darkest fears. And if you're just the little kid who runs away from everything, like, you're never going to find anything here. But it's like you have to become consciously aware of everything to be able to sort through the bullshit. It's like this industry throws so much information at you, and if you do not have the capability to sort through it to find the right stuff, you're going to get hurt. Like, I'll give you a jewel that has helped me tremendously. It's like, I always look at this business in terms of the 5 core functions of any business. So you have lead generation, lead nurture, sales, fulfillment, retention, and ascension. So you fix your lead generation. Once you have that working, you work on your lead nurturing process. How do you build and maintain those relationships with leads that you're bringing in? Because you're not selling at the top of the funnel. You might convert 3% of people.
Right.
People think they're going to sell everyone at top of funnel. That's not the fucking point.
Yeah.
It's designed to get them to the next step.
Right.
So how do we keep converting them to the next step and getting them to follow a sequence of events to bottom of funnel to then make a sale? And then you have way more quality employees, because bad clients will bankrupt your business. Don't believe me? Go watch my other video about my Stripe processors getting shut down over. Yeah, it cost me 6 fucking figures for a like $2,000 chargeback. Fucking stupid. Dumbasses, losers.
Crazy.
But it's like, then sales and then fulfillment. You have to actually deliver on the promises you made on the sales call. Weird philosophy. You actually have to make good on the promises. Holy shit. Then retention and ascension. Only 2 ways to grow your business: get more customers or make them worth more. Increase the LTV or the cart size, the frequency of purchases.
Right.
Once you fix that whole pipeline, you start back over and make the lead generation better. Right. But it's like, if you are dependent on anybody else for any of those functions, the moment it collapses,
Yeah, it's a
Shit out of
house of
luck.
cards. It's literally a house of cards, and so yeah, I think look, and it goes into play with attention, right? Like being able to control where your attention goes, because and I think we're all in this together, right? Like there are so many things pulling at us throughout the day, right? Whether it's Facebook, whether it's Instagram, whether it's TikTok. With I find myself sometimes, and again, I'm marketing on these platforms. I'm creating content on these platforms. But even so, while I'm doing that, you sometimes get sucked in, and it's like, oh shit, I just spent five
Yeah,
minutes
a video is uploading and you're like, hang on, let me just scroll through it.
and it's like, man, and so your attention more than ever in the history of the world, we have so much information and attention coming to us, like at such a high rate, that I think a priority that anybody has, and not just insurance, but just in any business, right? Like, man, you got to be able to structure that attention and have a schedule of where that attention goes. And the cleaner you can be and follow that, the more successful you can be, because you're not getting pulled a million different ways. You're actually sticking to a process of who is getting your attention at what time of the day, whether that's making sales calls, generating leads, and like sticking to those things throughout the days. It helps so much. It's helped me make a lot of changes, because I'm a guy that, man, I can be super scattered, like, we start talking about something, an opportunity, and we can spend an hour talking about that opportunity, and it's like, all right, let's go build it, and then you got to take a few steps back and realize that, okay, I need to continue focusing on the things that are in front of me, structure my day properly so that I can execute and be successful.
What people just throw their attention everywhere because they're unconsciously doing it. Like they're not even aware that
Right.
they're on TikTok.
Right. Yeah.
They're literally in like the best way I could put it is like they're inside the matrix, I guess. That's the best without getting all conspiratorial. It's like they're inside of a program. They're not even aware they're in it.
Yeah.
It's like they're in the Grand Theft Auto video game. They don't even realize they're the ones playing it, controlling it behind the scene. Like, what are
For
you
sure.
doing?
Yeah. And listen, it's easy to get sucked into it. I will,
It is. You've got to train
it's,
it. But like that's
yeah.
why I love my NLP classes. It makes you consciously aware of everything.
Right. Super important.
If you have genuine control over your mind, you'll live a pretty good life. I'll say that.
Yeah. Agreed. And so look, and then aside from that, just lead gen in particular, obviously, I think there's shifts all the time, right? And this is what you see. You'll talk to agents like, oh, but Facebook changed this and Facebook changed that, and China's going to shut down TikTok and all this stuff.
There will
And
be a
like,
new app that replaces it.
yeah, I mean, listen, and it's just like you can't. Again, you go into like you're paying attention to the noise, right? Because right now I'm generating leads on TikTok for under $5-6. On Facebook, we're generating leads for under $3, and so you can listen to all the noise, or you can actually take action and learn this shit, and so that when anything happens. Or it's interesting. 2 weeks ago, there was this big article on TikTok about they're shifting from short form content to more long form,
I
right?
saw they uploaded like a 10-minute video limit now.
Yeah, they're moving it up because now they realize that, okay, now we're at this place where we have massive engagement from users, right? How can we monetize this? And the reality is that big advertisers and just money in general, they can't on a 5-second clip or a 10-second clip. Like they want to
Not even the clip length, it's the attention span size. Like,
correct.
You created it, fuckers.
You're right. Exactly. So
like,
they're making the shift.
This is why the business Uber is having problems, because they tried changing their models after they got everyone on those cheap rides. They're trying to add all these fees and other shit. And now people are like, well, fuck that. I'll just go get a taxi.
I'm not paying all those fees. Yeah. I get it.
Yeah. Like you fuck yourself.
Yeah, for sure. But that's, and so now you have that shift on TikTok where it's clear that they're going to start pushing long form content. And so they're going to make that shift. Who knows what's going to happen? It's certainly going to throw off the algos for the first few months. Who knows how long? So again, you either will sit on the sidelines and read the headlines, or you're just in there testing, doing the things to learn and adapt and shift if that's what you need to do, And so it's again, you got to stay above the noise and focus on the things that you can.
I find the quality of clients that I get from TikTok are complete shit
Is that right?
when it comes to service side of things, because
Mm-hmm.
they're just looking to be entertained.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like they don't really care. They just want to feel a certain way. So they'll go watch something motivational and they'll book a call and then they'll no show, or they'll buy, like, people buy so much and they're like, yeah, I'm just not cut out for this. I'm like, I told you.
That's right. Right.
That's exactly why you need to fucking do it.
Right.
If you
Right.
don't fix it now, you never will.
You
Like,
never will. That's right. That's right.
yeah, good luck, because things
Right.
are only going to get harder.
Right. That's
And
right.
it's like with them pushing a 10-minute time frame, like, I think it's just going to start driving traffic back to YouTube, if anything.
You know, I we'll see what happens. It was interesting, this
100%.
article that talked about how they, their competitor is no longer, it's not really Facebook. It really becomes a YouTube, a Hulu, a Netflix that are competing to get these longer form advertisers on there. And so we'll see. I find that, it's interesting for me based on all the ad accounts that I run and that I manage and that we kind of oversee, including our own. um, I see on Facebook, you're able to get right now, at least, and these things shift, right? They shift all the time. But right now, I see higher volume at a lower price on Facebook, right? But the intent is definitely, it's volume. It's just a volume game that you have on Facebook, and agents need to understand that when they're buying leads and generating leads on Facebook, you got to work the numbers. The mindset has to only be the numbers. I need to get X amount of leads because I'm only going to talk to X amount of people, and the rest of those people, I don't care. I'm going to move on and continue that volume play. And so for us, we have that, and then on TikTok, I actually see a more intent lead, like a little bit better lead when it comes to insurance. It might be different, like what you
Correct.
mentioned for coaching and stuff
Well,
like
it's
that.
like high ticket stuff. It's like definitely YouTube is my number one, because
Right.
people don't fucking acknowledge this stuff. What is the buyer persona? What is the intent of them being on this platform? Because here's the thing: how Oscar talks on YouTube, how Oscar talks on Facebook, and how Oscar talks on LinkedIn are all different.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Correct. Yeah.
It's like you
Yeah.
have to understand. It's like your ad is not a fucking just an ad. It is its own ecosystem. The comment section is going to reflect a lot. The likes and engagement are going to speak volumes, like the ad headlines, the ad copy, the creative, the landing, but whatever. All of that, you have to master all of it. It's not just oh, I ran an ad, give me your money. No,
Right.
oh,
Yeah.
no, 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 no.
Yeah. That's
You have
not
to
it.
understand the intent behind the person on it.
Well, and even to add to that, right? It becomes about, I have agents, new agents that'll come on board and they'll go, all right, well, Oscar, what can I expect? Like how many leads should I
Expect
have? Yeah, right. Exactly. How many leads should I have after like day 3 of this? Or like,
thousands.
what am I going to pay for these leads? And so it's so important, right, for that person, that agent. If you're just getting into lead gen or just getting into the process of generating a lead understanding, like nobody has a formula for it, right? You have to be able to adapt and test. I saw maybe 2, 3 days ago, Gary Vee was doing an interview on a TikTok, on a big TikTokers page, right? And he was talking about when they put out a video on TikTok or even on YouTube, how they actually might delete and re-upload that video 15, 20 times with different hooks until it hits a certain metrics that they need it to hit. And once it hits that, they know the video is going to go viral. And now it's a science, right? And so all that it becomes about is testing to get the right hook, testing to get the right creative, because once you hit a certain number, the algo is gonna take it from there, and you don't have to do anything else. And so, if somebody, just the idea of like, all right, if somebody like Gary Vee, who markets and spends millions of dollars on marketing, not just for himself but other people, if that guy is testing a video 15 times to find success in it, how many times should we be testing an ad to find success in it? Right. And so that's
It's
where like age,
constant. It's never ending.
it's never ending, man. It's never ending, and yeah, yeah.
Oh, this is going well. It's getting me leads. I've got a 4x ROAS, return on ad spend, and it's like next day it's broken.
Man, that's yeah, yeah. When you sit and just get too comfortable, that's when it smacks you. Like you said, the business, and it's interesting, man. Like, insure any business, right? I don't think I've ever been in a business, right, where I've been successful, that business hasn't at one point or another tried to chew me up, spit me out, smack me down, and make me cry for my mama, right? Like that's just part of business in general, and so I think that the tougher you become and the more you can understand these things and manage those up and downs, the better you're going to be and the more consistent you can stay present in becoming that success that you're trying to be.
It's the number one needed skill. People are like, why do you talk about emotional intelligence so much? And I'll get rude ass comments like emotionally unavailable, like you're toxic. Like your stress tolerance will directly reflect your income.
No doubt.
If
That
you have
is, yeah.
thin skin, I promise you will get hit in the mouth every fucking day. People are like, well, you said the F word 37 times in here. Like, why the fuck are you counting, idiot?
Yeah, that, and it's interesting, right? How the disconnect on because, and I talk to agents when I talk about sales, right? And this is just how I learned sales, and this is how I've been successful. But and I was saying it to one of my agents the other day, right? And I said, you have to use every single thing that a prospect gives you against them, right? And he took it in a way like he went back and he went, well, what do you mean? I said, I don't mean that in a way like that we're screwing them. Like I mean that in a way that to help this person see and understand why they're 50, 60, 70 years old and they don't have life insurance at this point in life. Like it's going to take you more than just showing them a price to make them understand, right? That they actually need this insurance and why they should get it right now. And so it's like, man, if you're not aggressive, and I don't mean like pushy, I mean like taking what somebody says and using it against them, because this is a chess match, right? That's what sales is. Like you're either winning or I'm winning. And so, we
Oh,
can
and
sugarcoat
I
this.
love that. I started playing chess not too long ago,
Hmm.
and I absolutely love that fucking game because if you lose, it is always your fault. You made an error
It's always
somewhere.
your fault,
I, I got into this. I started watching that Queen's Gambit. It was like a year and a
Hmm.
half. Whenever it came out, I was like, you know what? Like, I am too smart not to play this shit. It
Yeah,
was
yeah.
like, I'm going to wreck some people. And it's like, I got my ass handed to me for a good 6 months. And it was like every day just play 3 matches on this. It's literally a chess app, but it's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I can go kick people's asses now.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like, I want
Yeah.
to go play a tournament. But dude, it's like, people naturally just want to get offended. They want to find a dragon to slay because we are always looking for what's wrong. And it's like people get so offended by the delivery. But here's the fact: I live in reality.
Right.
Like it's in reality is not subjective. Well, it is to people, their your opinion, but reality is reality. And it's like I understand that. So certain days I speak my truth, but most of the time I will just speak in generalizations about what is true about the world.
Hmm.
And it's like, if I say 1 + 1 is 2, or 1 + 1 is fucking 2, does that change the fact?
Right, right, right. Yeah,
But they're like,
yeah.
no, you're wrong. It's
Right.
like, you have to say things in a way that gets people to respond emotionally if you want their attention now.
Correct.
Because you know what? When they do get on TikTok, it's small waist with a big bank, and it's like some girl with a fucking dump truck that she paid for. And it's like, well, it's time to unzip my pants. And it's like, fucking quit, dude. Get to work. Loser. That brings me to another point. An agent came up to me on a coaching call like 2 weeks ago. I made a YouTube video about this thing. It's coming out next week.
Hmm.
Selling to women is
Mm.
different from selling to men, especially when it comes to insurance, because we're selling something intangible. It's all emotional based You can't touch it. You can make paper airplanes out of the policy papers. That's about it. Or
Mm-hmm.
you can die and your family calls me to file the fucking claim.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, he's like, dude, I can sell to dudes, no problem. But he's like, every time a girl gets on here, it's a complete disconnect. She acts like she has no clue what I'm talking about. So I reviewed like 6 of his sales calls and I was like, dude, you're selling completely based on facts. You're
Mm-hmm.
selling completely based on logistics. And I was like,
Mm-hmm.
women are slaves to their emotions biologically. They're
Mm-hmm.
different people every 30 minutes, especially if they're not well fed. If they're hungry, they're a fucking saber-toothed tiger. But it's like this people do not know this. They don't acknowledge it. Women make up 3/4 of the US debt. This is statistics. They make up 80% of the US economy with their purchases.
Mm-hmm.
Harry's razors, Gillette, men's razor brands. Do you know who their biggest audience, like customer base is?
The women.
Women.
Yeah. Yeah. Because they're
That's why
cheaper than buying.
advertisers target women. It's all based on emotion, but because it's like women don't care about the logistics until after they exchange money.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to test if your girlfriend likes you, see if she'll buy you something.
Right.
If not, get rid of her. But you'll know if a girl likes you if she spends money on you. I promise that.
Right.
Easy way to test it after you like smash the first night. Just tell her to go get you a coffee the next morning. If she doesn't listen, get rid of her. It's not going to get canceled. But it's funny, dude. So I'll do this all the time. So this is why advertisers target women. But it was like I noticed when I was always selling to single mothers, majority of the time, for some reason that's who most of the leads came from. They just bought their house, their boyfriend knocked them up, left them with a kid. They have to become the CEO boss bitch, and they have to make money to pay for the house. Nothing wrong with that. I don't like the masculine traits they pick up, but they have to provide for the kids. And I'm not dating them anyway, so I don't care.
Right.
But they buy completely based on emotion. When I was doing some surveying and I started sending out text and like applications for like, hey, how happy were you with this purchase? And it's like, why did you buy? And it was like, it made sense. And it was like, I wanted to be seen as a good mother. And it was like, it all came down to self-image.
Emotion.
And emotion. It's like, they didn't care about the price or anything like that. They cared that when they died, they were going to be seen as a good mother or a strong, independent woman because she's taking care of stuff. So I was like, dude, you have to start playing into this.
Mm-hmm.
You have to ascribe the labels that when they buy this, they're going to feel a certain way. It's like women don't love you for real. Women love how you make them feel.
Well, and it's interesting, right? Like for me, and you said something, when you talk to that agent and that you're just, it's all facts. And I think
that's how men buy, but how you sell a woman is completely inverse. You sell on emotion, and after they give you money, then you break everything down for them and they will listen because where our treasure is, our heart follows.
Agreed. Yeah. And I would even add, man, that for me, across the board. And if you break down my sales in history, right, as anything I've ever sold, I certainly have connected more with females than males, right? Like if you look at all the sales I've done in my life, I probably have more females. And that could be the sheer number of, like what you said, 80% of females are really the buyers or the people with debt.
Yeah, they make up 80% of the US economy. Absolutely nuts.
It's crazy. That's a crazy number, right? And so, but you think about when you break that down even further, like how do you become like even keel, right? Whether it's a man, whether it's a woman, how do you take that same approach, but just make some sudden changes, right? And this is something I was talking to one of my agents about just Monday, Tuesday, as we're doing like live trainings and feedback on his calls and stuff. And it's like, man, if you're not building the emotion of what you're doing and making them feel what it is to be in a position where you die and your kids don't have the money to pay this, and putting them in that position through storytelling, through probing, through all these things that happen, like even that guy, right? Because the guy buys, like you said, on facts, but man, you still got to pull the pain points. You still got to make that guy
100%.
feel like a piece of shit because he's not protecting his family, right? And that's what I mean by using the things that they tell you that leverage against them to ultimately help them, right? That's
Men
the
want
great
respect. Men want respect. They want to be
Correct.
the decision maker, so you have to put them in that frame. Well,
Right.
okay. Let's see if you do have balls.
Right. And it's asking those uncomfortable questions, right? That most people, like they said, you don't want to cross that line. You don't want to this. You don't. Well, if you don't want
No,
to do
cross
that,
that
then
line. And here,
right. Yeah,
the crazy
exactly.
thing is most men are feminine anyways now today. So just have the same conversation with a man that you would with a woman. Just treat them
Right.
like a girl.
Right.
You'll triple your sales because they're drinking all the estrogen from all the birth control in our water supply.
Right.
This shit's actually tested, which is insane to me that it's not fucking treated.
Yeah.
It's absolutely crazy. All the girls on this birth control that pee, where does that
Right.
water go? Waste
Right.
control, all that shit, the turd skimmer, it gets put fluoride in there, but it's like the amount of people drinking birth control in their tap water, it's insane. And they just can't stay away from the McDonald's soy burgers. That's not even real meat. It's like
Right.
187 different species of plants and bison like melted into dude, it looks
Yeah.
nasty as fuck.
Yeah. For sure. For sure. Yeah.
But it's like they're all drinking birth control water anyway, so just treat them like a woman.
Just go on the emotion, pull on the emotional strings. Yeah.
Like, listen, I'll give you my doll if you buy this.
Right. Oh man.
Guys, this is fucking satire if you don't understand.
Oh
People
man.
get so
So
offended.
people listen again, we're in a world where like you can't you're either going to play on one side or you're going to play on other. You can't be in the middle, man. I think you talk about this and
Oh,
I
I
really believe
always
in
shoot
that.
the messenger.
Yeah, like man, you can't play both sides, right? You're either one person or you're another. Being both, just you're fake, right? And so, and people will see that. People will see that. People will find that, and it will not work in the long run. And so, look for me again. I teach, and I've just when I've anything I've sold. I remember this conversation we were having, right? Like there was a time in early 2000s when I got into mortgages, right? And I worked for a company called AmeriQuest Lending, right? They were at one point the largest retail lender in the country. All they did, and this was before '08, before the crash, right? All they did was residential refinances. That's it, right? And they did it to middle low credit score people and higher interest rates because they were a retail lender. They weren't a wholesaler. So it was rates of at a time where rates were 5 and 6%, these guys were pushing 8 and 9% mortgages out there, right? I'm a 21-year-old kid fresh out of the Marine Corps, right? Trying to figure out what I'm going to do, what job, and I
Yeah,
get
where's the
hired.
fucking girls at?
Yeah, I get hired to get on the phones as an opener to at this company, right? And I spent maybe like 6, 8 months there. From there, I found the person who taught me how to sell, right? So I'm super thankful for that. And I moved from there with that person and built a mortgage company. But he taught me how to not sell price, right? And it was all about pain points, emotion, options. That was it. That was the sale, right? Pain points, emotion, options, go. And man, we were selling mortgages, right? That somebody was getting an 8, 9% mortgage. That person could have probably went and got a 6% mortgage somewhere else, but we sold the value, we sold ourselves, we did all these things so that price didn't matter. And it's so important in insurance because the majority of agents just sell price. They're just trying to get to the quote, give the price, and then you lose the deal.
Every time I role play with someone, it's like, yeah, so okay, you fill this out, but yeah, let me ask you some health questions. Okay, and the price is like,
Dead.
why the fuck do they need it?
Dead deal. Yeah, you just killed it. You killed the deal. I don't even need to hear anymore. The deal's dead.
Dude, and
Yeah,
and I have to stop being not stop, but I have to acknowledge that what's common knowledge to us is not so common to everyone else because
sure.
this is the same thing I have to teach agents. Like you, before I was an insurance coach, I was an agent.
Right,
So
right,
I have to walk them across that bridge to before I knew what I knew now, I have to
right.
meet them where they are at. Guys, you have to
Sure.
do the same thing with your customers. They don't know shit about insurance. So
Correct.
you have to walk them through before you were an agent, you were one of them, the normies.
Yep.
You have to walk them across that bridge with the information you know and get them to make an educated decision. That is how you build trust.
Right. Yeah, man. Yeah. Agreed.
So,
Agreed.
of course, I joke on people, but it's like, wake the fuck up because you were in control of this. You're just choosing to listen to a dumbass upline. But they care about me. They gave me an agent and a 5% commission raise. It's like 5%, like 80% of nothing is
Still nothing.
it's no better
Yeah.
than 100% of nothing.
Yeah. Yeah. Still nothing.
Care what your fucking comp is if you're not selling anything.
If you're not selling, yeah, that's number one, and so yeah, I think look, it's agents not going down those paths of getting sold on a pipe dream that they're going to work a few hours a day and make millions of dollars a year. That doesn't exist anywhere in the world, right? The only place that exists is fast money, right? Illicit businesses and
Yep.
doing
It's
criminal
Logan
activity.
Paul. It's,
That's right.
hey guys, I just brought out ETF Zilla. You download this app, and
Right.
when you put all your hard-earned money from your parents' account in there, I'm gonna sell at the top, and last one holding the bag loses.
Right.
Bid.
Right. Exactly.
Your fucking
Exactly.
pump and dump schemes.
Exactly.
All these people in signals groups and like, well, I'm in a Discord trading group. I'm up 16 cents on Robinhood. Like, idiot.
It's unbelievable, man. But that's what, people are chasing that
Yep,
fast money,
Yep.
you know,
Because they get
chasing it.
sold on the idea.
Man, just sold on man, I got to do it. This is it. I'm going to, in 6 months, I won't be working. And it's like, man, I've never, ever again, and I've only had a few, like what I would consider decently successful businesses, right? Doing several $1 million a year. And so I don't think I ever got to a point where things got easier, right? Where it was like, all right, yeah, I'm good, guys. Like, you guys figure it out. I'm just gonna make money. That doesn't that's not real,
Every problem you solve just leads into a more complex problem.
Correct. Yeah, correct. Yeah. Yeah.
It's
Like,
like
you're
2
not
plus
trying
2
to
is 4. Okay, I found out that answer. Now it's like, where the fuck did this pi equation come from? Like 3.14 equals XY. It's like, what?
Yeah. Yeah. It only gets tougher,
Now I gotta learn trigonometry.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and it's interesting, right? I said this to this agent the other day too. Like, man, there's something very different about selling and then recruiting and managing people. Like, they couldn't be further apart and opposites, right? Because a salesperson, it doesn't mean a good salesperson doesn't mean that person is going to be a good manager or a good leader or somebody that can grow a team, right? And
Correct.
so I think that's the next challenge, right? Like, as you scale and you get bigger and you get success, yeah, you might not be dialing 200 numbers a day, but man, you're running around trying to manage agents and trying to teach and lead and have those people be successful like you found success, and that's tough. That's
Oh,
that's not
that's
an
the
easy thing.
funniest thing. Well, I manage sales teams. I manage an agency of 100. It's like I
No,
get on their weekly huddle. It's like 100 fucking agents on there that they recruited from Instagram. A bunch of money hungry kids who are in these fucking signals groups. They're
right.
wearing flat bills with the tag still like on it, just in case this doesn't work out. They can return it for money.
Right,
But it's
right.
like, okay, guys, do you have any questions? Okay, we're gonna go over the script. It's like,
Crazy, man. Yeah,
work with one person until you can recreate the skill in someone else.
that's it.
You do not need to lead shit.
That's it.
You can't
That's
even lead yourself because you do
Yeah.
not know how to re-articulate it in someone else.
That's it, man. Yeah, I couldn't agree more, and that's the growth I'm doing. And I know that's the path you're kind of taking as you scale again is
Yeah, it's
like,
a
all right, we're
fucking
going to bring
cesspool,
in.
but it's like
Yeah.
I had someone get mad. Well, you're only taking 10 people. That's fucking stupid. I was like,
Yeah.
my agency will do like a million fucking every 2 months right out of the gate.
Right.
It's like
Yeah.
5 A players will outwork an agency of 100.
Well, and you see like the numbers, right? People sometimes hear, "Oh, this guy's got 400 agents." And it's like, what does that mean, right? Cuz like when you
80-20
open up
rule.
yeah, when you open up that book and you look at it, it's like, all right, 400 agents, but like 1% are producing, and then you're wasting hours training others and chasing 400 people to try to produce, but there's no real structure. So again, it's the model of throw it at the wall and whatever sticks, right? It's
Yeah, I've got 10 agents doing 50,000 a month, okay, and the other 500 of them are getting debt collection like
right.
notices.
So,
So
and those are going to drop off in the next 30 days. So I need to quickly go and find
have
another
fun with the
500.
roll-up debt, bitch.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the model, man. It's so scary, but that's it. And they know. And now some of these guys are exploiting it, right? They go, okay, I know that 80% of these people I bring on are going to spend $4,000 or $5,000 on leads and are never going to make it. And I don't have, they're
So
gone.
let's give them a CRM. Let's give them some leads.
Yeah, man.
It's like when America sees another country doing good. It's like, what did I see? Saudi Arabia or Iran just found the largest like lithium mine. It's like they could use some freedom.
Right, yeah, exactly. Yeah, let's go free their people,
Just go
Yeah.
give us the
Yeah.
freedom, guys.
And it's the same thing, bro. It's like, all right, now you need the CRM. And it's like, no, you don't need the $50
You got
month
4
CRM.
leads.
Yeah, you need to go spend the $2,000 on Salesforce because this is what you need. And like, it's just crazy, man. So
Fucking
yeah,
clown
very
world.
different. But that does now for the ones that really focus, right, and follow good business principles, the opportunity is humongous, man, because out of all those people that are dropping off somewhere else, like most of them should have never been in the business. That's the reality, right? Which I think that's the problem in this business is like, 95% of them fall out. Man, most of those people should have never been in this business. It's not for everybody, just like anything else is not for everybody.
This is a people's business.
Right.
This is a people business. It's completely emotional, and it comes down to stress tolerance and emotional intelligence and all of these problems. And it's so funny because people are becoming aware that it's like, oh, my agency really is a cult. They want me to think like this, but at the end of the day, no one's profitable, but they say we have a great culture. Culture does not pay the bills, bitch. But it's like all these problems that they're now seeing, they're a part of the problem. You're adding gasoline to the fucking fire by bringing your mom on to get a license.
Correct.
Now both of you are broke. The whole economy, the whole world gets hurt because you're just trying to get people to fork over money to pay your light bill. And it's like, I'm really one of the few people that will call it out. And it's like, it's almost to the point where we have to start name dropping because I know that none of them can kick my ass.
Right.
And even if they could, I'll still be alive at the end of the day and you won't.
That's right.
Like at the end of the day, if it gets backed by violence, how you talk to a man, there's always the underlying threat. Like, okay, this guy's bald. He might fuck me up. So he's crazy. He shaved his head. Like,
oh,
just
man.
fucking around. But it's
awesome.
Dude, the problems in this industry, man, it's like you're adding to the fucking fire. So it's like all the problems that you're becoming aware of that you're adding to, you cannot manage 500 people.
Right.
Well, FFL is this, AIL is this. It's like, well, if you didn't bring on 100 people, you're part of the fucking problem because people start creating their own internal values and best practices on how to screw people over. It's a very deceptive industry. It's very disingenuous. I love it. I love the honest people in here. I love the transparent people, but it's like 90% of the agents, they're completely poverty stricken. They're swimming in the poverty pool. Like I tell them to get out of the poverty waters all the time.
Right.
You got to get out of that depression mindset. You cannot control 500 people. You are not that influential yet.
Right.
And it's like, you do not know how to delegate responsibilities and maintain leadership. And it's like, that's the problem. It's like, I loved when I was at Symmetry, but at a certain point, they got overran by each internal agency's own core values. It's like, okay, we're going to do everything. We're going to use their products, but we're going to say things this way.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, if everyone's using different scripts, you're getting 13 different fucking viewpoints, 80 different sales processes. You're never focusing on one thing. That's the attention piece. You're
Yeah.
being drained. So you
Yeah.
think the new CRM is going to fix it. You think the next script is going to fix it. You think a new upline or transferring to another IMO is going to fix it. And
Right.
until you take ownership over this ship, you're always going to be broke.
Yeah, no, I agree, man. I agree. And if you just like when you look at buying leads and people don't pick up, it's the same shit, right? So you can either choose
Oh,
to,
this lead sucks.
yeah, exactly. You either focus on that or it's like, man, what an opportunity for the ones that have structure, for the ones that again are implementing these things properly. It's massive. I think that one of the things shit, I just lost my I just left. It just left me. I had something I was going to mention, but
Was it about
um
CRMs, culture?
no, just the idea of like, you know, um the noise again, going back to the same thing, man. It's just so
It's
much
fucking pointless
noise.
face noise.
Yeah, it's just so much noise that, the best advice is like, man, tune it out. Focus on you. Oh, this is what I was going to say. Yeah, 'cause, you see again going back to like groups and stuff like that. People will go on, "Oh, my IMO, I called 10 people, they said this, that." And not to be like rude or anything or like, but man, like if you're in that place, right? Like the solution is not in a Facebook group, right? The solution is not putting out this into a group of 70,000 other people that
And
are all
remaining anonymous like a bitch.
and that are all going to contribute nothing of real substance to you
Those
because
people are pussies. I'll be rude because if it says group participant, I'm like, you're a pussy.
right.
I don't want my upline to say you're a 1099 independent contractor.
Yeah.
What the fuck is your upline gonna do?
Yeah. Well, and I think that's the point. For me, it's like, man, I don't know that like your solution is not here on Facebook posting about it. Like,
Especially not on the independent insurance agents group. That's spam posted porn. Dude, it'll be someone like named Ali Habab, and it's like a video of that Indian going, "Ah, ah, ah, ah," and it's like, then you see some like robot having sex with a Barbie doll, and it's like, there's 30,000 members in here, and they change their name every week. It's like X and X leads, Y2K inbound calls.
right. You're right. Right.
It's like, fuck, I just need to buy this group.
Yeah.
I just need to buy this group.
I just
So
need to buy it. Yeah.
if you're the owner of independent insurance agents, please reach out to me. I will pay you a nice sum to get you the fuck off of here so I can delete that shit. No
Oh,
more
man.
anonymous posting. If you're hiding behind a fucking screen name or if it says group participant, you're a coward.
You're right. That's awesome. Oh man. Yeah, but I think and that's where you find, again, that person, as shitty as it may sound, like that person probably should have never been in the business because again, if you're coming into a position where you're just counting on this other person to give you everything and like you said, not taking the accountability, like listen, I knew nothing about insurance. Yes, I have business sense and all
No, but
those
you're a
things.
critical thinker. You know you can rely on yourself and find an answer. You know how to sort through information.
Man,
It's
when
all a
I came
matter of perspicaciousness.
when I came in this business, I didn't look for an upline to mentor. I didn't do none of that, man. Like I went on YouTube, and I found what are people using as a pitch. I started looking up people. Oh man, I connected with this person, with that person. I like what they're saying. Okay, I get it. Let me just go get contracts, right? Like what else do you need if you really are an independent? You just need contracts, and then you got to dig into the leads. That's part number two. Um, and so that's what I did. I spent the time, I did the trial and error. And the sooner you do those things, the sooner you're going to implement the foundation in your business that come 2 years, 3 years, 5 years from now can't be shaken and crumbled on a recession or whatever. And so those are the things that I'd focus on.
No, 100%. Like, I'll show you something real quick because this is the coolest fucking testimonial I have ever gotten. Let me see. So like I have to fucking super zoom in, so no. But it's like, thank you, Mason. My name is X and X. Blurted out so his upline don't fucking put them on as earned. Started with, not going to say the company, now with a new company. I came across your YouTube channel almost a year ago and saw your YouTube video about loyalty in the insurance industry, and it opened my eyes. You forgot the ED. And my upline and everyone around me drinking the Kool-Aid was lying to me. Yep. You remember the Kool-Aid man? Like, oh yeah. Fucking bust through the wall. Oh yeah. I'm sure you won't read this anyways. I'll read everything, guys. But I'm a single father of 3 children and left my construction job to join the insurance industry and fell flat on my face for a year. There was numerous times where I wanted to just drive off a cliff, but instead I would just watch your YouTube videos and actually learned what it means to work on your mindset and deal with your emotions. And I learned all of the skills necessary to make sales in this industry, even after dealing with debt from people canceling their policies because I did not know what I was doing. And just listen to the people above me. I managed to get a fresh start with a new group of people that are so awesome to work with. And over the last 6 months, I have paid $243,000 in premium.
Wow.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Wow.
I know that's probably not a big number to you. It is a big number to anybody in this industry.
No, that's a big number.
You.
It's a huge number.
Yeah, guys, anyone doing like 100,000 a month, 90% of them have fucking terrible issue rates, so don't feel bad about your numbers.
Right, yeah.
It's like the guy who gets an 80-inch lift on his truck because he's got a little dick. So I know that's probably not a big number to you, but I was able to pay off my fucking house. Wow. And get all 3 of my children into sports teams and have got back into the gym to get rid of this fat ass gut. I love the accountability.
Love it.
My 9-year-old son watches your videos with me. He absolutely cracks up and adores you. He called me a superhero for the first time the other day, and I feel more confident than ever and have started dating a new girl who my kids love. I won't lie and say there have been times, I have not been pissed off by what you said, but simply because it felt like you were talking directly to me and pointing out every single flaw in my life. Thank you for saving my life. I wish the best for you, and please don't stop what you're doing. After I finish up with tax season, I would love to work with you. And this guy's on Yahoo Mail. You got to get the fuck off there and get Gmail, dude.
Man, that's fantastic. You know?
Dude, like that's the power of good marketing.
Man, that's
I felt
incredible.
like you were talking directly to me. I saved this dude's life. I paid his fucking house off. I got rid of his fat ass gut. He's probably got like a fucking 10 that's just blowing him every day, making him sandwiches and getting him coffee. And his kids call him a superhero, so he feels respected. He's no longer thinking about driving off a cliff.
Right.
That's fucking impact, dude.
No, that's amazing.
He didn't even work with me. He took YouTube videos.
Right.
There's no fucking excuse, guys.
Yeah. It's that's incredible.
Everything your upline says. Just follow me and Oscar. Oscar will make your fucking leads. Go give him $2,500, $3,500 before he triples his prices when he finally comes to his senses and listens to me. Guys, what he's charging, fucking, it's a 1/10 of what it should be. So go to, what is the Scale My Social /Mason for a
it's scale deal. Yeah, we did scalemysocial.io/Mason.
Yeah, so I will put that as a thing. But Oscar, if you can fucking leave some people out on some advice, dude, on like 3 best advertising tips to increase their insurance sales, what would it be?
Number 1, get more states. If you're doing telesales, go invest in yourself.
Explain why, please, because that's a big one.
Yep. So for agents that are maybe right now buying leads, right, and you're only operating in a handful of states, that becomes very simple because you're buying from a company that's not an insurance agency, so they don't require licenses. That company is marketing all over the country and generating leads in all states at wholesale prices, and they sell you the ones that you need. When you start generating your own leads.
Oh, don't forget they sell them to me and my whole agency and everyone at this IMO.
The more the
97
merrier.
agents on the same lead. So
oh yeah, the more the merrier. And then they're bulking it by the thousands and flipping it to, you know, all the big boys. But yeah, look, once you start doing your own lead generation, you no longer have that advantage, right? You do lose that advantage where it's like, okay, I can't market all over the country. Why does it matter to market all over the country or as many states as you can? Is the simple fact of, again, numbers, just like leads, right? So if you're only going to be marketing on Facebook or TikTok, wherever it is, and you're only going for, you know, 2 or 3 states because that's all you've ever worked, you're going to find that leads are going to be much higher priced in comparison to what they should be if you have more states, right? It's a direct link. Seeing it again on ad accounts that I manage, our own ad accounts. If you have, for me, my goal, right, on any agent that I'm bringing on, I'm trying to get that agent to 20 plus states as quickly as I can.
yes,
Because
15, 20 licenses, you'll see some decent lead cost.
Yeah, and the idea why that's important is take a step back and think about the model, right? And the model is volume leads at low prices so that you can get to the 5, 6, or 7%, right, that are going to buy from you, right? That's it. And so the rest of those people you're going to chase, you're going to put in funnels, you're going to put in workflows, you're going to do all those things. And maybe deals trickle in little by little over the next few weeks. But in the heart of it, the bulk of the business that you're going to pull out of an internet lead is going to be a 5%, 6%, 7% closing rate. And so the only thing you can do within that model to get more deals is to reduce the cost of that lead so that you can buy more with the same ad spend that you have, right? Let me say that again. Reduce the cost of the lead so that you can not spend any more and buy more leads and still hit 5%, 6%, 7% closing rate, which equals more deals. And so the direct link to that is more states so that Facebook can go and fish in a bigger pond, or TikTok can go and fish in a 20 state lake versus a 3-state lake, right? Number one, most important thing that you can do if you're doing telesales is get more states to drive down cost. Number two is knowing how to properly work these leads and have the mindset of what you're purchasing. And again, who that person is, what is the intent of this lead, and not setting wrong expectations that every lead that you pay for should be a deal or should pick up the phone for you, right? Like that's arrogance, right? To think that that somebody who's never met you, that doesn't know anything about you and just saw a 30-second video about
Oscar, please take my social. Please take my social security number.
They're like waiting by the phone for you to call and
they're over here.
Yeah. I can't wait for Mason.
Insurance.
Yeah, exactly. You know, but that kills an agent's like mindset, right? Because they come in and they go, "Oh man, but I bought 100 leads this week." And
now, where did that expectation come from?
What is it?
Where did that expectation come from to them?
Well, likely fed to them, you know, from an upline, or, you know, just all the shit that's out there, you know, all the stuff that you're
top down, guys.
Yeah,
this is the most transparent fucking podcast, whatever you want to call it, in the insurance industry. I'm not trying to get you hyper, not trying to get you to waste a bunch of fucking money.
Right.
I'm trying to program you. I want you to think a certain way. I'd rather you go out there and send me an email for free rather than buying my own shit.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, man. I think in this bit, and it comes from not just uplines, right? Lead vendors, course vendors, right? That are promising the world and lead cost at this and this at that. And it's like, man, it's all bullshit. It's all bullshit. There is no recipe. There is no formula. You either understand what the model is and you fix your mindset to work within that model, or you're just going to be chasing your tail, wasting money, going to the next lead, the next vendor, the next course, the next program, the next mentor, like that. And you'll be sold a million times because you're that fish in the water that everyone's taking a bite out of. right? And so the sooner you understand, it's the truth, right? The sooner you understand that and really look at what the deal is here, right? States equal lower price leads. How you work these leads is everything. If you don't know how to work these leads and you're not hammering these things with the thought of like, I don't care about who doesn't pick up this phone. I'm just trying to get to my 5, 6, 7 people out of every 100 that are going to buy, or
It's
maybe
a
on the
sorting process.
that's it, man. And so if you have that mindset, man, you're just going to excel. You're going to push harder and harder. Number
Yeah,
2
the
would be that.
opposite is like the stripper who's celibate after she gets off work. Like,
There you go. There you go.
and you wonder why your boyfriend doesn't want to kiss you.
and look, and I'll leave you with number 3, right? Number 3 for me becomes the ability to take risk and work under that pressure of it, right? And I say that because when you're going to go generate leads, you're going to have to place a bet on the table, right? You're going to have to put $30 a day in ad spend, $40 a day in ad spend. You're going to have to let that run and see what yields, right? What comes from it. And you got to make changes, and you're going to have to, and you have to be ready to do those things. And if you're not a risk taker or have a good tolerance for that, you're going to fall flat on your face, or at least have the mindset of like, okay, I need to go in this understanding that I'm gambling, right? It is a smart gamble because I understand the concept of generating a lead, how to properly set up an ad, right? But at the end of the day, I'm leaving it on Facebook or TikTok to try to get me these people. And it's only by trial and error that we can perfect this and get better at it.
And that trial and error is not taught. You know whose fault that is? The fucking education system. Because here's what's crazy. I found out something the other day and I started doing some deep dives. It's like, do you know where lottery earnings go for states? The education system.
Correct.
And do you know what the education system is not legally allowed to teach? Profit, like
money.
Like not even just money, but what's the fucking word I'm looking for? Probability.
Right.
Because if you understood the probability, you probably wouldn't be playing the lottery at all.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
So guys, you're gonna have to forget everything your dumbass second grade teacher taught you. Christopher Columbus was a fucking idiot. He was a sex trafficker, whether you knew that or not. Mm-hmm. Elvis was a pedophile, so I don't care if your dad likes him. Everything you've been taught in this world is a fucking lie.
Right.
This is one of the few places you can come to get your feelings hurt and actually learn some shit, guys.
Yeah, you're gonna feel mad and upset about things, but you're gonna learn some stuff.
A dude's scrolling on TikTok and then he sees me. He's like, "Congratulations, you sunk my battleship." Like E4, dude. Checkmate. That is fucking awesome. Well, guys, Oscar Gonzalez. This is the only person I trust in the insurance industry to generate leads.
Appreciate that.
I do not give away referrals lightly.
Appreciate that.
Outside of you, Carson Porter is the only person I will refer, and he is competition to my coaching company.
Right.
So, like, it makes no sense for me to send him business, but he's a great fucking person.
Right.
So, guys, scalemysocial.io/Mason. If you're ready to triple profits, learn organic marketing, get rid of your suicide, any of that bullshit. If you want to be one of those testimonials, reach out to me. Text 270. Text the number at the bottom of the screen. I know you fuckers have seen it the whole video, hour and 13 minutes. But Oscar, dude, thank you for being on here for a full fucking episode. This is awesome, man. It's going to piss a lot of people off, and it should generate you some business. So
let's do it, man. Appreciate you very much. I really enjoy coming on here. It's always a good time. So look forward to the next time, man.
Absolutely, man. If your dog gets stuck anymore, dude, just leave his weenie alone. All right, see you guys. I'll play the outro. See you, buddy.
All right, man.
That's a great ass outro music. Had to beatbox with it. Happy Hustling Party people. Love you all. Thanks for being a part of this. And thank you for getting me to 1.6 subscribers. Means the fucking world to me, truly.